I've just started the recording for this session. अगर आप में से कोई भी exit हो जाता है automatically, please rejoin the session.
नहीं, ये कौन सा सेशन है जितेंद्र?
ये मैम PowerPoint का सेशन पैरेलल चल रहा है ना अभी?
नहीं, आपने ये इसी सेशन में पावर पॉइंट कंटिन्यू किया है?
नहीं मैम, it is a separate. I am having two windows right now.
ओके,
I have shared the ma'am.
मिस्टर गांगुली को ज्वाइन करना है पावर पॉइंट, वो अभी भी यहीं है, इसका मतलब उनको लिंक नहीं मिला है।
Ma'am, Mr. Ganguly, can you click on that link there with the under the name Jatinder Randhawa?
करण, आप प्लीज अपने इसमें चले जाइए इवेंट में।
In the chat window.
प्लीज अपने इवेंट में चले जाइए करण। चैट विंडो लैपटॉप से करण को कहो अपने इवेंट में जाए, उसको सुनना कहाँ, यहाँ से एग्जिट मेरा आप उसको बोलो यहाँ से एग्जिट हो जाए।
Karan sir.
No, sir, can we start with?
Sir, now we can start. The Ganguly sir is there in our presentation module now.
So, may we start with the proceedings?
Yes, sir. We can start with the proceeding now, sir.
Okay, Veeramrit, please start with the program.
Okay, sir. In these COVID-19 times, we are locked up physically, but not mentally. It is in our imagination that we can find travel salvation. After all, we are
Veeramrit, please wait.
Yes,
जितेंद्र सर अपना माइक ऑफ करना पीपीटी वाला।
Veeramrit,
yes, sir.
Jatinder sir, please keep your mic off. There's lots of echo. Okay, Veeramrit, please start fresh. Yes, dear, please begin. Veeramrit,
Veeramrit, are you there, beta? Harjinder sir, she's rejoining. Veeramrit,
Yes, sir. Sorry for interruption, sir.
no issue, beta. Start, beta.
Okay, sir. In these COVID-19 times, we are locked up physically but not mentally. It is in our imagination that we can find travel salvation. After all, we are only limited by our imagination. It's time to trade in hope. Buy, sell, barter, distribute, exchange, and spread hope. It's time to promote so much hope that even the hope starts hoping to establish a permanent residence in our minds. Remember, the markets are under siege by armies of disbelief, distrust, doubt, fear, hopelessness, despair, discouragement, and pessimism. The most efficient weapon and shield against this enemy is hope. On this note, wishing a revitalizing morning to everyone present. This is Veeramrit to conduct today's PowerPoint presentation event. We all have assembled today to witness a breathtaking competition where the participant will express their views on the effect of COVID-19 on tourism and travel industry and to present a revival plan for the same. Please welcome our first participant, Mr. Sujan Ganguly, MD Region Hotel, Amritsar.
Ma'am, actually, there is some network issue, so she's rejoining. Continue, beta. Veeramrit, continue.
Okay, sir. On this note, wishing a revitalizing morning to everyone present. This is Veeramrit to conduct today's PowerPoint presentation event. We all have assembled today to witness a breathtaking competition where the participant will express their views on the effect of COVID-19 on tourism and travel industry and to present a revival plan for the same. We have the magnanimous presence of Ms. Meeta Mehra, Chairperson Picky Flow Amritsar Chapter, a business entrepreneur since 19 years of age. She started and successfully ran a leather garment business in Chicago, USA for 6 years. Then moved to Amritsar, India and started the brand Divine Chocolate Factory from a home kitchen to a cafe. Her company is well established in Amritsar for the past 20 years. And Mrs. Sujan Ganguly, MD Regenta Hotel and General Manager of Royal Orchid Group of Hotels, Punjab region as the esteemed judges for this event. I extend a cordial welcome to both of them. I also accord a warm welcome to all the participating teams and the teachers preparing them. Before we commence with the competition, let me acquaint everyone with the rules. The participating teams will present the presentation in Microsoft PowerPoint or Google Slides. There should be maximum of 6 slides. The time for the event is 5 to 7 minutes. There will be a warning bell after 5 minutes and the final bell will be after 7 minutes. The team exceeding time limit will lose points as per judge's discretion. The decision of the jury will be final and abiding. I hope the rules are clear to all the participants. Now, I will invite the participants as per their allotted turns. Our first participants are from Team 1. May I request Govind and Mehak to present their PPT. I pardon. May I request Govind and Mehak to present their PPT?
Good evening to one and all. Wait, you must be wondering that why did I say evening when it actually is noon? Well, it was just to have everybody's attention, and since all eyes and ears are here now, I, Mehak, along with my partner Govind, would like to commence our presentation, that is, Revival of Travel and Tourism post-COVID-19. Isn't it astonishing that how a tiny virus has seized the whole world? The once overcrowded places like the Golden Temple in Amritsar or the Times Square of New York are now completely deserted. On the other hand, many places like the beaches of Goa or the mountains of Shimla, they have welcomed the nature to spread its wings since we humans are locked inside our houses. But unfortunately, this has impacted our business sector, especially travel and tourism. Travel and tourism is a backbone of our economy, fall in which has led to many losses. We need to bring this back. We need to bring our tourism back on the track. Obviously, the future of the travel and tourism will be totally different from what it used to be. But we believe that through a 3-year strategy, infusing confidence among travelers can be a key to bring back our tourism.
Did you know that the tourism sector contributed about 10.5% to the global GDP? And this sector is worth around $9 trillion. This sector has suffered an unprecedented blow due to the COVID-19 lockdown and restrictions. Therefore, we have devised a comprehensive 3-stage strategy for revival of travel and tourism and to undo the damages inflicted upon this sector due to severe lockdowns and the restrictions. We like to call it as the 3R strategy, which stands for Restart, Revive, and Revolutionize. The first stage, Restart, is the short-term action plan which will stick to the resumption of flights, hotels, buses, and resorts, as well as opening up of various tourist destinations. It is also concerned with the reopening of the broader hospitality industry. The second step, that is Revive, will deal with the medium-term action plan focused mainly on revitalizing and stimulating the industry by reversing the damages and losses faced by the sector. Some of the measures taken in this step can be by providing trip insurance to the tourists for the expenses and by providing discounts for the expenses. We should also encourage corporate cooperation for the revival of this tourism sector. The last step, that is revolutionize, is the long term is associated with the long term measures aimed at transforming the tourism sector by providing superior facilities for healthcare, transportation, sanitation, and overall tourist management. Now we will like to present some of the strategic measures that are essential for revival of the tourism as tourism sector as well as its future. Role of technology Role of technology in future is very crucial and I'd say indispensable. I'm sure you all must have used some of the satellite mapping softwares such as Google Earth and Google Maps. Such apps can play a crucial role in disseminating information regarding opening and closing hours, the peak traffic hours, and especially for the pandemic, informing about the spread and danger of the disease in a particular region. Tracking apps such as Arogya Setu, launched by the Government of India, can facilitate tracking down the disease and its carriers. And for this purpose, this app has been made mandatory for every traveler. I'd say virtual tourism is the future of tourism. And at last, utilization of latest arrivals in the field of technology, such as artificial intelligence and three-dimensional virtual tourism, can help people can help people experience as well as enjoy various tourist destinations from the safety and comfort of their homes. It defines a whole new form of reality. Travel corporates can also utilize such technology for their virtual operations. As the Honorable Prime Minister said, we need to be vocal for local in these hard times and to defeat the virus and its danger. The same applies here in the tourism sector. There has been a sudden boom in the staycationing trends, which implies holidays spent in the home country rather than abroad. It includes trip to local tourist attractions, and in turn, it helps the development of local economy as well as tourism. With emerging startups such as Airbnb and WasteCase, has never been easier. Next step requires government support for the development of domestic tourist sites, which will in turn attract tourists from all around the world in absence of foreign alternatives. Local tourist spots can offer attractive promotional schemes for tourists to revive their revenue gradually. And at last, transport system needs to be reconstructed and reorganized in order to prevent passenger congestion and to ensure safety. This can be achieved by enforcing strict guidelines, increasing terminal numbers, and efficient tourist management.
So the last slide is about epidemic preparedness. To travel soundly, we need to ensure our safety. So the first thing is social awareness. Novel coronavirus is a pandemic, yet we people are being ignorant about it. We are not taking this thing serious and doing the things that we shouldn't be doing. Second point is increase security at tourist sites. This directly implies on strict implementation of rules and regulations by the government. The tourist site officials should also make sure that no individual is violating the norms of COVID-19. The third point is social distancing. Social distancing, we need to maintain a distance at least of 6 feet. The hotels or the organizers of the traveling agency should make sure that this norm is especially not violated. And many companies can also promote their tourism by opting various strategies like drawing the circles that can make sure that social distance is maintained. The last but not the least point is maintaining personal hygiene and sanitization. This is the basic concept that we people need to learn. Hygiene, personal and social, must be maintained. And also people should avoid going to the areas that are not clean or must be overcrowded. So these were the topics or the concepts that we think might be able to bring back the most common hobby, that is traveling. So now the question arises, how will tourism be in 2020? Well, in the future, local travel will be prioritized. Global travel might start soon. It will be contact free, redefined, and virtual. Thank you.
Thank, thank you very much for this beautiful presentation. The next participants are from Team 2. I humbly request Prabnur Kaur and Triman Sarai to present their PPT.
Jatinder sir, Jatinder sir,
Yes,
are you
sir.
here?
Yes,
Sir,
sir.
the slides are blinking. We can do it some.
Maybe they have put on some animation. That's why it is happening.
Okay. So we can keep in going as the same.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Okay.
How do you explain things when they don't go as we assume? Or worse, how do you explain when others are in similar conditions as you? Good morning, one and all present here. Today, I am Prabnur Kaur and my partner Timan Sarai from Cambridge International School, Amritsar, are here to discuss the future of travel and tourism sector after COVID-19 by a PPT presentation. Through this graph, we clearly see that the travel and tourism sector has been growing from past decades. It has increased the contribution of GDP every year. By the reports of 2018, we come to know that travel and tourism has contributed 9.2% in India's GDP. And it does not provide employment to only workers in the cities, but also is an earning base for all the rural population. The tourism sector has an employment of 12.75%, which is around 1/5% of population of India. This employment is further divided into direct employment and indirect employment. Over 87 million of people are engaged in tourism sector by the reports of Ministry of Tourism published for the year 2019. It is estimated that our hotel sector has an annual revenue of $5 billion, which have been hit hard by the Wuhan virus pandemic. Now comes the restaurant sector. Yes, the restaurant industry, which has the turnover of $53 billion per annum and has an direct employment of more than 7 million people, has been hit hard by this pandemic. Here comes the air transport industry, which has approx 4 lakh people directly employed and 9 lakh 40,000 people related in supply chains. We move further to the challenges faced by travel and tourism sector due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 has forced the tourism sector to close its shutters. The government restrictions that the distance must be maintained, the limitation set up by the government that the people must stay at home has forced this sector to close all their businesses. The visiting sites are closed till next order. By the orders of travel, by the orders of culture and heritage ministry, they have said that all the visiting sites, our Golden Temple, are one of the wonders, Taj Mahal, and many other, the New York sites, are closed till the next order, till March 31st, 2021, and can be extended by the next order. Those indulged in travel and tourism businesses have been hit hard by the Wuhan virus. Social distancing, the distance must be maintained, it is the need of the hour, but it also has an ill effects in the way. We come forward to the recovery plans for the future of this sector. External affairs. The External Affairs Ministry need to put on their strict restrictions on the domestic businesses so that the international business should run normal as they were before. Re-evaluation of investment. Large as well as small corporations must resist the temptation of cutting the entire innovation budget but choose to invest their resources much more strategically. New economic strategies. Back in 1980s or the 21st century, India has always come up with the new economic strategies to put on and uplift their economy. Cost optimization. It is important for airlines, hotels, and tour operators to capture the slightest shift to the trend early with the clear operation of marketing strategies. Travel and Tourism Stabilization Fund. The government too need to pull up their socks and need to give some time to the people related in tour and travel company to give them more time to pay their EMIs and less on their subsidies and provide them with sufficient amount of fund to re-establish their business all over again. Trust among tourists. Now, the travel companies, the tour and travel sites need to put on their advertisement skills, need to clear on their creativity skills so that they can build a trust among the tourists and give up and wind off the fear in their minds. India is a country that has faced buttload of problems years back in 1980s or it's the 21st century. India has always overcome the problems and emerged as the growing economy. This crisis on us has not affected India this time, but the whole world itself. But it's a surety that India will come back with a boom and uplift its economy. And then we will re-establish a travel and tourism sector in India. So we are just hoping for a new tomorrow and a new hope of scope. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. I think that was quite interesting. The price of success is hard work, dedication to the job at hand, and the determination that whether we win or lose, we have applied the best of ourselves to the task at hand. The next participants are from Team 3, and their names are Diya Bassi and Sandeep Singh Chawla. So I invite them to present their PPT.
It's not your customer's job to remember you. It's your duty and obligation that they don't have a chance to forget you. As it is the responsibility of the tourism and travel sector that they should adopt all the safety measures and to provide new attractive schemes to regain their customers. A very virtuous morning to everybody present here. Today, I, Diya, and Sandeep, on behalf of Delhi Public School Amritsar, are here to present a PowerPoint presentation on the topic Impact of COVID-19 on travel and tourism sector and to provide a revival plan for the same. So, to proceed further, I would like to show you all a slide which represents the change in tourism and travel sector from 2019 to 2020 post-COVID-19 through an infographic mode. In the first part of the slide, you can see the tourists arriving in India has declined by 8.14%, while on the other side, you can see the foreign earnings have declined by 23.19%, which is a huge number. So, moving further, I would like to tell you all the impacts of COVID-19 on the tourism and travel sector. The first point is shutdown of hotels. People, especially foreigners who used to visit India to or famous places like Golden Temple, won't be able to visit for a long time. In such a case, hotels are going to incur heavy losses as they won't be able to generate any revenue or profits. Staying in hotels and long vacations are going to be stories of past now. The next point is employment at stake. On account of coronavirus, the employment industry is expecting a potential job loss of 38 million. I repeat, a potential job loss of 38 million. And on account of coronavirus, in the first week of March 2020, the hospitality sector saw a decline of 65% in the occupancy levels. The next point is change in mode of transportation. Due to coronavirus, people will fear traveling by flights, trains, or buses. They will travel by their own cars to move anywhere in the country. And this is going to be the new normal. Hygiene and cleanliness now a priority for travelers. Hygiene will be most important for each and every traveler. Even if they travel by flight, they will use they will use sanitizers, clean their seats, wash their hands regularly, avoid touching here and there, and maintain a distance while greeting. The next point is choosy about destinations. If people want to visit any part of the country, they will be very choosy about the destinations. They will choose the destinations which has very less crowd. They will see the places which have quite less visitors and then opt for one. So these were the impacts of the COVID-19 on the tourism and travel sector. Moving further, I would like to present a revival plan for the same. As you can see on your screen, the first point is institute cost cutting. Managers must identify all the non-essential services and should cut down such services which have less demand. This will help them to eliminate losses. The second point is ensure sanitation, health, and safety measures. Sanitation and health measures are most important for every hotel. Every hotel should ensure cleaning of objects and ensure sanitation for each and every person. After all, this is the least each hotel can do as it is a matter of everybody's safety. The third point is virtualization. Isn't this word very familiar? Moreover, we are connected by virtualization right now. But how it can help the travel and tourism sector? People are now preferring apps like Zoom, Zoho, and Google Meet for video conferencing. They will prefer booking tickets online on apps such as Expedia, Make My Trip, and Bookings.com. The fourth point is the fourth point on your screen is business travel missed for recovery. Due to the COVID-19, the businesses are incurring heavy losses. So they have to make some packages so that they could create employment opportunities for everybody. The fifth point on your screen is integration. As you all know, due to this COVID-19, each hotel is incurring heavy losses. So it's the time that each hotel comes together and unites to fight against this COVID-19. My dear jury members, the last point is my favorite point as it is related to my own country. At this point of time, no one can move to foreign countries. So this is the best time that we can explore our own home country. So does this point say domestication. As people would be able to travel foreign countries, neither anybody will be able to come to India due to as the borders are locked, the cities are on lockdown and flight restrictions have been imposed. For instance, the government of India, along with the tourism ministry, has launched Dekho Apna Desh, a webinar series in which experts share information on dozen destinations like Delhi, Varanasi, Goa, etc. Hotels to succeed have to discount their rates. As the bell is about to ring, I would like to conclude by a quote of Shwana Request. The heart of hospitality is when people leave your home, they feel better about themselves, not better about you. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you for a wonderful presentation. Now we have Dia and Janvi as participants for this competition for Team 4. I request them to present their views in front of us. I think they are not present here.
They are presenting, Biramrit.
Okay, sir.
Hello. Excuse me. Hello.
Yes, beta. Actually, there is some background noise. Komal, start presenting, beta, with your PPT.
Are you listening my voice?
Yes, beta.
Yes,
We are
yes,
listening to
your
you.
voice is clear.
Okay, okay. Good afternoon to all. Today, I, Dia and Janvi from Vinana Dev Devi, Pickering, presenting a presentation on the future of travel and tourism after COVID-19.
Excuse me, Komal. Beta, there is a background noise from your house. Please check that.
Okay, so wait. I'm going to connect headphones. Hello.
Yes, dear. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So welcome to our presentation. There's very much background noise, sir.
Uh, Anirudh, sir. Excuse me. Sir,
Yes, sir.
can we listen to this team at the end if the judges allow?
Yes, sir.
Respected judges, can we listen to this team at the end?
Yes, sure. Why not? Sure.
Veeramrit, please announce the next team first. We can listen to this team at the end.
Okay, sir. The next participants are from Team 5 and they are Jasleen Kaur and Gulshan Singh. I request them to present the PPT.
Komal, can you call me at my number? Komal, I'm sharing my number. Please give me a call at my number.
Is the screen is visible?
Yes, dear, the screen is
The
visible.
screen is visible. Just jump to that PowerPoint wala application. Yes.
Okay.
Now it is
Hi,
visible.
Jasleen Kaur with my
And
partner Gulshan.
Just wait, just hold on, Justine. Just rotate your phone. Just rotate your phone into a horizontal. Right now it is vertical. And just hold on here for a minute, and your screen will be more visible to us then.
And beta, you have to switch on your camera too.
नहीं सर, that will not be possible because वो phone से operate कर रहे हैं इस वक्त.
So फिर how we can
या उनका
judge it?
only on the voice basis because वो same phone use कर रहे हैं for presentation and the.
Now is the screen is visible to you?
I think this
Yes, yes,
vertical
yes.
angle is also okay. We can see it in this vertical angle.
Please start.
I just go with my partner Gushan deemed it a privilege to reflect on the future planning of travel and tourism post COVID-19. As we all know that COVID has hit all business sector and one of the most several affected sector in tourism, it is on its knee worldwide. As hotel, restaurants, countries and flights are grounded and sealed. No one knows that when this foray of virus will abate. No vaccine is in sight. People are closed in their houses. If they come out, they need to wear masks and gloves. Now time distancing is new mantra for all of us. Nobody wants to travel because they want to be safe. All this changes their mindset, but nothing remains forever. After every night there is a day. Pandemic, a challenge and an opportunity. It is likely that the permanent effects of the crisis will redesign the tourism industry, and those who will be able to create a personalized and targeted offer different from mass proposal will come out successfully. So the new tourist offer will have to meet the trends in the need of sustainable and regeneration that the public will demonstrate with great vigor. If destinations will be capable of mapping, enhancing and promoting their pearls in the strategic, systematic and a professional way, getting out of this crisis will become an opportunity for all of us.
Plans for boosting travel and tourism. Business need to respond. Successful tourist offers must be curated systematically all year around and with a professional approach. Promotion and tourist offers must be done on par with what is happening in the modern market oriented companies. These activities need to be structured and systematic. Safety health insurance as well as cancellation and re-establishment policies will be the important selection criteria for future travelers. Next, focus on domestic tourists. We need to focus initially on domestic tourism followed by overseas travelers. Dekho Apna Desh by Tourism Ministry of India. It has been launched a webmail series hosted by experts who share nuggets and information to more than a dozen destinations. Stable states are now trying to restart tourism to boost their economies, so it's never too late. Outdoor and nature-related destinations will be more in demand for travel and tourism. We can capture new demand by redeploying resources available quickly for the markets that are in demand. Here, young generations will be more open to travel post-COVID-19 crisis. Next, technological upgradation. Technology will be a game changer and this scenario from digital health passport, digital identity, crowd and social distancing solutions and restrictions to control free travel journey management. Solution new hygiene standards and social distancing norms will be the new return strategy. Artificial intelligence enabled websites will be a boom. Role of social media. Social media has a vital role which would influence tourist behavior in future. Tourism companies to work on new protocols. Tourist industries can complete to ensure the safety of their employees, customer brand images, cash liquidity. It can redesign traveling experiences like winery experiences, museum visits, sports events in room dining and entertainment instead of hotel facilities.
So, with the seventh plan for boosting travel and tourism, role of government. Government by lifting travel restrictions and working with business to assess liquidity sports, apply new health protocols for safe travel. Particularly attention should be given to the more sensitive destinations, so travel and tourism industry and government should continue to reinforce their coordination mechanism. So accompany the business, especially smaller ones, because looking ahead for measure put in a place today will shape tourism of tomorrow. To build a stronger, more sustainable and resilient tourism economy, government should promote structural transformation. The crisis is an opportunity to rethink tourism for the future. At last, with the conclusion, there is no doubt that we are still in mindset of coronavirus pandemic and that the effect of this virus are likely to be felt for a long time. This is thus the right time for us to reflect on the future of tourism. Although the likelihood of a total transformation of the tourism sector is low, but at the same time there are evidence in the past which shows successfully sustainable tourism going towards dominant development path after such crisis. At the end, the time has come to take this opportunity to rethink the future of tourism more sustainably. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, dear, for an extremely effective PPT. Success is peace of mind, which is a direct result of self satisfaction in knowing you did your best to become the best you are capable of becoming. Next in line, we have participants from Team 6. May I request Ravinder Pal Singh and Mehakdeep Kaur from this team to present their PPT.
Good afternoon, my worthy listeners. Today, we, the students of MKD DAV Public School Atari, are here to put light on the ill effects of worldwide spread pandemic, that is COVID-19, on travel and tourism. This little virus has affected our lives in such a way that it has pushed us into a can of worms. Traveling, that is a hobby and craze of many people, and tourism, that is a great source of income of many countries, are badly gripped by this little monster. I will travel the whole world. This is my dream destination. I will surely go there next month. We often say that or listen to other people saying so. We humans love to travel and explore the untold mysteries of the world. Just like us, this is our new friend, Mr. Gumakkar. He loves to travel and even makes his living from travel vlogs. He goes to different destinations every month. And because of people like him, tourism sector has grown rapidly. In 2018, this sector contributed 8.8 trillion to global economy. Three 319 million people hold a potential jobs in this sector. Number of international arrivals around the world are ever increasing. It was 1.4 billion in 2018, that is 56-fold increase of the number back in 1950. Everything was good till 2019. Then a lovely 2020 enters the scene when an isolated incident spiraled to a world disaster. Sadly, Mr. Gumakkar is stuck at home, self quarantined after losing his only source of income and hoping for everything to get back to normal. And what is more frustrating for him? Yeah, a work from home slogan. But he is not the only one affected. This pandemic holds the world still as many countries imposed travel restrictions and even complete travel bans. We faced a rough fall in economy and incurred a loss of 85 billion alone in India. Millions of people lost their jobs, counting to 38 million in our own country. But that's not the end. World is rising again, preparing for the new normal. As many countries lift their travel bans, our Mr. Gumakar is ready with his packed bag and the visa that he got after many procedures. But this time, it's not going to be a smooth sail. As he arrives at the airport, he has to go through many checkups. While he's there, let's look at some solutions to make his journey easy. This pandemic has taught us to look at the positive side of everything. Let's do the same here. We can use this opportunity to divert travelers' interest to lesser visited places, making them more accessible. Lesser visitors make it less likely to be contaminated. Health insurance companies will surely experience greater profits as people become more health conscious. Masks, sanitizers, and social distancing are needless to be mentioned here. Digital health passports will cut short the time of checkups and save more time for adventure. Availability of tour guidance at flick of button will reduce the people on ground, making it more safer to travel. Investments in safety and hygiene are must by all hotels, resorts, and travel agencies. We are all set to welcome our new guest. This can't stop us. We will surely travel again. As the world faces its biggest pandemic in the century, almost all sectors of the economy are hit and will take a long time to recover. The tourism sector lookout will really depend on how rapid this virus spreads or how it is contained. If the virus starts subsidizing in third and fourth quarter this year, we can predict that tourism sector will recover partially in 2021, but will take a long time to recover completely. Unlike other business sectors, tourism will take a longer time to return to normalcy in the recovery period because tourists needs to ensure that the situation is really safe and secure before they step out to travel again. To assist the tourism sector recover quickly after pandemic, several actions must be carried out, such as disinfecting major tourist destinations, including hotels, in order to regain people's trust that tourist destinations and accommodations are really safe to visit. So this is not the stop. We will rise and shine again surely. World will emerge as a stronger identity. And as Principal Ma'am said, let's handle the failure. Till then, let's wish happy journey to Mr. Gumakkar, who is ready to breathe the air of lovely spots and make memories. Failures come and go, but we are not here to stop. We should rise and face the problem. Thank you for thank you everyone for being here.
Thank you for this lovely presentation. Now we have participants from Team 7 and they are Gurarpan Singh Man and Dev Hora to present their case. I request the participants to turn on their cameras.
Ma'am, maybe start.
Yes, student, please start.
Thank you, sir. Only the traveling is good, which reveals to me the value of home and enables us to enjoy it better. Good morning to one and all present here. Today, we, the students of Pine Grove School, are here to present a PowerPoint presentation on the topic the future of travel and tourism after
Sir,
COVID
can you
19.
see it, sir?
Uh,
Sir, are you
Beta,
able
share
to
your
see
PPT.
PPT?
No, no, we are not able to see your PPT.
PPT is on. Yes, sir. Dev.
Gurarpan Man, you are presenting the slide.
No, sir, Dev हो रहा sir.
So
Sir,
they
is it visible?
Devora, just click on that present now. There is a present now button. Just click on that and your screen will be visible to us. Dev, are you using phone or a laptop or a
It's a
desktop?
laptop. I'm presenting it,
It's a
sir.
laptop.
I have presented it, sir. I have
You
done it present
presented it.
now. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it will take
Are you
around.
able to see?
Yeah,
So may I start?
So can you see it now? So are you able to see it
yeah,
now?
yeah. Wait, Dev, wait. We are able to see right now. So now your slide is there.
Yes.
Yeah, just click on that slideshow and keep it at full screen.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, run it in full screen.
Due to network issue, it's taking time.
Yeah, just wait, just wait. Because of slow internet, it will take some time. Don't panic. Just wait.
Yes.
Dev, on your laptop, it is full screen now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir. Done. So may we start?
Yes.
Please turn your camera on, Dev.
So it's on, sir. So now is it fine? So now is it fine? I have turned on my camera.
Jacinda, you can run the slide separately.
Yeah, are you able to see me?
Beta, your slide is not on.
No, sir. My camera is on.
We can't see your
But
slide. Present your slide first.
so now may I start?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Only the traveling is good, which reveals to me the value of home and enables us to enjoy it better. Good morning to one and all present here. Today we, the students of Pine Grove School, are here to present a PowerPoint presentation on the topic the travel and tourism after COVID-19.
After COVID-19, Dave, Dave,
The net is too slow, sir, due to bad weather. It's raining here, sir, so. I'm not able to connect.
Dear, you can run your PPT in half screen mode, this mode only. You can go to the next slide and next slide.
After COVID-19,
That just
tourism will be not.
Uh, Dave, you have put lot of animation in your PPT. That's why it is running very slow. So
but
just
the speed of the
just
animation
stop
is
your
fast.
presentation. I will tell you
Uh,
how to do it. Just stop your presentation from the full screen. You have put on lot of animations. That's why your PPT is not running.
So
Jitendra sir,
speed is fast,
due
sir.
to
Not
weather
Jitendra sir,
so
conditions,
it's
it's raining
network
here,
issue.
so I'm not able to connect.
Jitendra sir, can we request this team to come later on?
Yes,
I
sir. Definitely we can do
yeah.
that.
Veeramrit,
Dave,
please invite the next team.
Yes, sir.
We will invite this team later on.
Okay,
Guratpan,
sir.
dear, we will invite
Yes,
you
sir.
later on, please.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir.
The next participants are coming from Team 8. May I
Dave,
have
just
the
click on
honor?
stop sharing.
May I have the honor to invite Kirti Sharma and Arsh Nair to present what they have in store for this beautiful topic.
अच्छा वो तो अरेंज कर देना हाँ
Okay, so we sent a message few days back. Congratulations, you have won a free world tour ticket. Pack your trunks and get ready to fly high. But at the corner it said, we don't guarantee your safety. And a question popped in my mind. Would you risk your life for a tour which could result as the very last decision of your life? A unanimous answer to this question would be a big no. Obviously, because neither you nor me are wise enough to roam fearless when the danger is in the air we breathe and is in the people we meet. My regards to worthy judges, teachers, and their competitors, and welcome to a new world where COVID 19 is the new normal. Instead of handshake, namaste is the new normal, and instead of long trips, lockdown is the new normal. But no need to freak out all the peripatetics out there because we Ashramites, Kirti and Arsh, have come up with a safe and secure plan to restart travel and tourism. In this 5 to 7 minutes journey, we'll travel the time to know the future of travel and tourism after COVID 19. Before we present our idea, we thought that it would be important for you to know how hopeless the situation is. Before the onset of this pandemic, our tourism sector was growing rapidly as it supports a large employment base and rakes in huge profits. But at present, the United Nations World Tourism Organization estimates a reduction of 58 to 78% tourist traffic across the world, affecting GDPs, employments, and national incomes. In short, the tourism sector was amongst the first to be affected, and I dare say would be amongst the last to recover. But happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, only if one remembers to turn on the light. Since international trips have become a long forgotten dream, why not to look inwards and visit the gorgeous locations of our own country? Why not to explore the incredible India? Yes, our tourism sector needs to be strengthened from within first. Home tourism stimulates GDP growth, boosts investments, and drives development of infrastructure. The plan, The Incredible India, is divided into three stages. At step one, we'll be focusing on saving the businesses and employments. At step two, there will be a use of aggressive marketing strategies for inducing customers to travel again. And as a step three, there will be an adaptation to fundamentally change tourism sector post COVID-19. This pandemic is not going to last forever, nor will be the need to stay at one place. But the now it must be in your minds, why Incredible India? Well, this question is answered by UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. He said, tourism can be a platform to overcome this pandemic because even if people travel for short vacations, they can unshackle the seemingly unshackable economy. Home tourism will strengthen our rural communities. It will strengthen INR. There will be a rise in gross domestic product, and also it will be cost efficient. This pandemic is not going to last forever, nor will be the need to stay at one place. On analyzing the present situation and observing the demands of consumers, we have come to a conclusion that people will be more inclined towards these vacation types in future. These are briefly described upon your screen. First is logical traveling, that is travel only when required. Second is nature tourism, that is increase social distance but stay close to nature. The third are road trips, that are travel with autonomy. And number four are micro holidays, that is travel but stay close to home. Now, before we present some breathtaking, incredible India sites, safety is first. In tourism sector, the psychology of people is more driven by safety and security aspects. In the coming time, the companies will have to regain the trust of people to pursue them to travel again. For this, obviously, social distancing is the safety mantra. Along with that, hotel room ionization, UV sanitization, and plexiglass barriers are considered as amongst various effective means to control the spread of this virus. Now, look at it. Isn't it beautiful? Our incredible India. Rohtang Pass, Spliti Valley, Tura, and Mosme Caves are amongst the less affected tourist destinations, and we feel would be amongst the most crowded ones after this pandemic is defeated and our fears are overcome. The headwinds will be strong and severe. Some will struggle, some will perish, but only a few will succeed. In this pandemic, it is only the ability to cope with the new normal that will redefine the future of travel and tourism after COVID-19. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you for such a fantastic presentation. Success is not measured by what you accomplish, but by the opposition you have encountered and the courage with which you have maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds. Now, it is time for me to invite the participants from Team 9 to present their views. And the participants from this team are Samas Thingra and Tisha Kapoor.
So let us start. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, dear. Yes, dear, you can start.
Thank you, sir. सामने वाली बिल्डिंग कुछ दिन पहले ही सील हो गई, तब से आस पड़ोस की जिंदगियां तब्दील हो गई। उस बिल्डिंग की नीचे वाली दुकान से घर का सामान आता था, अगर बीमारी का पहले ही बता देते तो क्या जाता। आज हम डरे हुए हैं, जीवित हैं पर मरे हुए हैं। आज लगता है काश कर दे सब कुछ ठीक इस दुनिया को करके रिवाइंड, बट बिलीव मी दिस इज नथिंग बट कलेक्टिव कर्म ऑफ ह्यूमन काइंड। It's been 5 months into the lockdown and we have experienced solitude. The entire business is at stake. The rapid spread of it has halted domestic and trade activities and disrupted routine works of many nations, bringing their economies to a halt. Its effect on travel and tourism has been worst. So here I am to present you to a plan that might help this industry revive. Before proceeding to the actual plan, I feel it is important for us to know what tourism and travel industry is. The tourism industry is concerned with people traveling for business or pleasure purposes. By contrasting, the travel industry has a wider scope covering more travel purposes and durations. Let us know what has been the transition in the tourism and travel industry during COVID-19. Well, before COVID-19, we just have to book the tickets for our favorite destinations and just reach there. However, after the COVID-19, we have to book our tickets, get permissions from government after COVID SCRC negative test, and only then we are allowed to reach the place. Before the pandemic, you just have to prepare an itinerary of where you want to go. However, now you have to plan your itinerary according to government restrictions, know-how of containment zones, etc. Before COVID-19, you had to carry no or very minimum safety equipment. However, now you have to carry maximum of them. And now last but not the least, do you all remember eating out with your friends without giving any heed to hygiene? However, now you need to be extra cautious about it. It is sad how the entire scenario has been affected by this massiveness. In order to plan out some actions that could be taken and to know if people are ready to travel, and if yes, then for what purposes, we carried an online survey. So the results of the survey are reflected on the screens as follows. The extreme left pie chart puts a light on people and traveling. 65% of people says they will travel only if urgent, and 35% says that they are ready to travel for recreational purposes. As per the business travel survey, 90% of the business travelers say that business travel has taught them skills that they can use to solve life problems. And if given a chance, they will choose traveling for business, which comes under urgency to travel, and hence there's a scope for domestic travel to boost up. On the other hand, 45% are still ready to travel for recreational, which is still a good figure. And the extreme left chart shows about 72% of people have an upscale trust on hotels that they will take necessary measures to ensure a safe stay. We have analyzed the pattern of progression of life after previous pandemics, and in our opinion, this time, the pattern shall not be the same as the people are more educated and techno savvy. We as smart human beings can definitely find out ways to save ourselves and at the same time try to revive the economy. As the part of the plan, we decided to carry a phased-based approach towards restoring normalcy. The three major sectors of travel and tourism industry which should be taken into consideration should be accommodation, which include hotels, farmhouses, etc. The second is destination, which include places for recreational and entertainment purposes. And the third is to put emphasis on domestic travel. Before reopening to international tourists, we as a country should launch social media campaigns and should deploy social media influencers to present India's attraction to show people that how we as a country is taking measures to sanitize the destinations and how these measures are really being implemented. Vlogs, short videos in this world of socially oriented people can make a great difference. But as the hospitality business works out, a second area of attention should be on how to create an environment that follows strict hygiene rules but is still worth the hassle for potential foreign clients. Key efforts should be on the health and safety measures, and hotels should reassure guests and travelers that India is one of the world's safest destinations. There are two graphs that might reflect on your screen. The line graph on the left shows the occupancy rate. That is the number of rooms occupied in a hotel in last years. You can see the trending movement in the graph, how tourism and hospitality sector was booming and suddenly saw a decline. So, and then restarting hospitality by primarily targeting the domestic market should be an important step in our phased approach towards restoring normalcy in the tourism industry. According to our base plan, the driver of the growth could be twofold. First, there would be multiple citizens coming out of nearly 5 months of lockdown who would be itching to travel and experience normalcy. We could see a weekend tourism boom with people traveling to familiar destinations, preferring cars over mass transit options. Second, 40 million Indians who would have otherwise plans to vacate overseas are largely restricted to domestic travel. As confidence in air travel resumes, we will see a heightened activity. Together, these travels will generate significant additional revenue for the currently ailing industry. Hence, this is the time to boost our domestic industry, which will pave a way to the success of international opening. Hotels should offer packages which should include destinations worth the visit and which have very less coronavirus cases. For example, Rishikesh along with safe and hygienic stay. For now, we should focus on step and most importantly make sure that these are well implemented. And just believe, whatever shall happen, this will pass. क्योंकि ये वक्त गुजर जाएगा. मुश्किल तो बहुत है, पर वक्त ही तो है ना. गुजर जाएगा, गुजर जाएगा. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was simply breathtaking. Now, we have participants from Team 10 to present their case through a beautiful PPT presentation. I request Gurjot Kaur and Chad Sabharwal from this team to acquaint all of us about what they have to say about this topic.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, madam. Present your PPT.
So, what's that? What's all about that hullabaloo of March 25, 2020? Well, that was the day when the entire country just shut down. The global economy was already in a turbulence and the Indian economy started decelerating as well. One particular sector of the Indian economy had been its growth engine from the past 9 years. It was growing at the rate of 3.5%, was giving jobs to 87.5 million people and contributing 30 billion US dollars to India's foreign exchange reserves. Unfortunately, this very industry, the Indian travel and tourism industry, went into a coma on that ill-fated day. But now it's time to revive our patient, time to stimulate the Indian travel and tourism industry.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board flight TSS 12B. Our destination, revival of travel and tourism industry, Focus India, shall be reached in 5 to 7 minutes. Kindly fasten your seat belts as we are ready to take off. Thank you for choosing the Senior Study Airlines.
Well, the travel and tourism may be defined as shown. The industry is classified into various sectors. It is the crowning glory of not just India, but the entire world. It contributed 8.9 trillion US dollars to global GDP and 269 billion US dollars to India's GDP. India had an influx of 10.8 million foreign tourists and 1.9 billion domestic tourists in 2019, with 344 million tourists visiting Tamil Nadu alone.
But unfortunately, this industry has been badly hit by this pandemic. It's suffering an overall loss of 16.7 billion US dollars. India's richest Hindu temple has already lost 130 crore rupees. And then there are some untold stories of our own Amritsar. Hardeep Singh, a private taxi driver, has to rely on langar now. Sudhakar Singh, senior manager at 4-star hotel in Amritsar, receives no salary since March. Archana Singh, owner of the Thasu, an online travel agency, not left with single inquiry in a day now.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's time we took the bull by the horns. And so we put together a plan which involved adding new skills, stepping out of the current way of thinking, and choosing a different mental model. Thus, we named it as the Learn, Unlearn, and Relearn Revival Plan. It is a three-pronged plan involving the government, the travel and tourism industry itself, and the society at large.
Prong 1 involves the government exertion, where the revenue pooling structures for SMEs, transparent, consistent communication we should give, establish Indian Tourism Analytic Network, implement stabilization and support packages, impetus to domestic tourism, and establish corona corridors for traveling.
Well, prompt would include the upgrades undertaken by the travel and tourism industry itself. For example, the highest hygiene standards, going digital and contactless, upskilling the staff, and flexible policies. Restructuring models, designs, and monitoring consumer sentiments. Coming up with out-of-the-box ideas like cycling vacations, health farms, staycations, virtual heritage walks, vacations, etc.
Well, prong 3 of the revival plan are society's endeavors. Here, the locals need to support tourism, maintain city's hygiene, and sincerely follow regulations. And the media needs to broadcast the society's fair.
So, to bring out the feel of reviving the tourism sector of our city itself, we virtually met the dean of Redison Blue, Mr. Jatinder Sohal. Well, he felt that a positive sentiment about tourism should be created in the market and awareness should be spread about the new normal. We also visited the office of luxury holidays to meet its owner, Mr. Ranveer Singh. He strongly felt that people are dying to come to Amritsar. He felt that hygiene and online registrations of devotees are the top priorities. He wanted one tax, one permit from the government.
We as well went totally digital and conducted an online traveler service as shown here. The responses of the survey are shown as pie chart. And wow, what a revelation. 2% of the respondents are waiting for things to be normal after they embark on a journey.
So just imagine yourself as a burnt out corporate dying for holiday. So you start scrolling on your phone for this magical experience. You, on the D-Day, are dropped at the airport by a sparkling Uber. You pass through the airport's terminals without any paper and absolutely touchless. You board on the most hygienically recrafted aircraft, and on landing, you check into your hotel with just your phone. The hotel you have chosen has the fastest Wi-Fi and the highest standards of sanitization. You also went for a hike with a path decided by Yahoo Maps. And now it's time for you to head back home, all rejuvenated after having enjoyed a value-added experience.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, what a revival plan should give. Value-added experiences to each traveler, each vacationer, because never let a good crisis go waste by turning it into an opportunity encased. Thank you.
Thank you for such an amazing presentation. Success is like a lightning bolt. It will strike you when you least expect it, and you just have to keep the momentum going. You have to strike when the iron is hot. Now it is time for me to invite participants of Team 4. I humbly request Dia and Janvi to present their PPT.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. I am Dia from just wait for a while.
Present your PPT first. Here.
Yes. Sir, it's network problem. Okay.
Honorable jury.
Yeah, Mohan, is
you
there
cite-
presentation with you? कोमल प्रेजेंटेशन आपके पास में है कि दूसरे स्टूडेंट के पास है?
I have, sir. I have.
तो जस्ट आप लैपटॉप यूज कर रहे हैं?
Yes, sir.
सो जस्ट सी, वहां पे देखो नीचे प्रेजेंट नाउ का बटन आ रहा होगा एक बॉटम लेफ्ट
सर
कॉर्नर में।
मैंने शेयर कर दिया है, वो लोडिंग आई जा रही है, वे कनेक्ट नहीं हो रहा, फिर
ओके,
नॉट
जस्ट
रिस्पॉन्डिंग आ रहा है।
So there is some network issue.
just reconnect yourself. Or just reconnect. Just leave the meeting and just reconnect.
Okay, sir.
Harjinder sir, meanwhile, Guru Arpan and Dev Hora को बुला सकते हैं?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead. We can invite them at the end now.
Okay. Veeramrit,
Yes, sir. May I request Guru Arpan Singh Man and Dev Hora to present their PPT.
Which team they are from, Veeramrit?
Sir, they are from Team 7.
team number 7, Dev Hora and Guru Arpan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So 1 minute, sir.
Okay.
Then may I start?
Beta, present your PPT.
So now I think so it's fine. Is it visible, sir?
Yes,
very
now
much.
it is visible.
Thank you.
It's visible. Please go ahead now.
Sorry for the connectivity, sir. Only the traveling is good, which reveals to me the value of home and enables us to enjoy it better. Good morning to one and all present here today. We, the students of Pine Grove School, are here to present a PowerPoint presentation on the topic, the future of travel and tourism after COVID-19.
Travel will become unaffordable. Tourism strategies will be redesigned from government, with tourism industry nearly going bankrupt during the pandemic. Fares will increase. It will consume a huge part of one's income.
New norms for travel industries. New norms will be adopted by travel and tourism industries. Temperature checks, social distancing, robotic sanitization on airports will come into picture, regular sanitization.
Business travel. It will decrease significantly as Zoom, Google, Microsoft Team meetings become the norm. 66% of businesses worldwide have targets to reduce their volume of internet travel. 60% of businesses worldwide have targets to cut their trips to the suppliers. 66% of businesses have targets to lower the number of journeys to their clients.
Educational exploration. Lesser number of students may travel to overseas to study. There is a new opportunity where collaborative teaching and learning can take on new forms and can even be monetized. Everyone will shift to a model of blended learning where both face to face delivery along with an online model will become a norm.
Travel, travel hotspots will not be the leading force in the travel industry. More of solo traveling will preferred than crowd traveling. People traveling for business purposes will be majority during the initial days. After pandemic, as fear will be there and pockets may not allow everyone for leisure trip.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Last but not least, we have participants from Team 4. I request Dia and Janvi to present their PPT.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dia from Guru Nanak Dev Devi Bhikkhuvind, presenting a presentation on the future of travel and tourism after COVID-19. First of all, I want to say something about COVID-19 as it is an infectious disease. It affects the whole world, and due to it, the transport system is totally sealed. All the countries declared a full-fledged lockdown for 2 to 3 months, which totally affected tour and travel. Now, I'm going to present the impact on tourism industry. The United Nations World Tourism Organization estimated that global international tourist arrivals might decrease by 20 to 30%, it leading to potential loss of $30 to 50 billion. In many of the world cities, planned travel went down by 80 to 90%. Loss of 850 million to 1.1 billion international tourists. The next one is loss of $910 billion to $1.2 trillion in export revenue from tourism. COVID-19 is threatening many tourist destinations. They are experiencing a huge economic loss from drastic decrease in tourism numbers. Now, I want to present some safety measures which should be taken for safe and confident tourism after this pandemic. The drastic change that comes in is that there is a shift to touchless travel. We will travel again, but it will not be the same. We have to use safety measures like, as our president has told us, that the main thing is social distancing, and the next is hand sanitization, and also must remember that we have to wear a mask. Now I'm going towards its conclusion. Till its vaccine not come, it's the responsibility of each and every person to protect himself from this disease. The total cases, the persons who are affected from this is in the world is 24.6 million, and the total death rate is 835k, and in our country total cases are 3.46 million and the death rate is 62,550. So the main thing is self-awareness. Self-awareness is must if you are going for tours and travels, and also guide others who are unaware about it. Mainly keep children and elders away from the travel till the vaccine came. So keep the death rate in your mind and keep your your health. Follow all the guidelines for safe and healthy journey. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear, for a marvelous performance. With this, we come to the conclusion of this very meaningful PPT competition.
We have witnessed many top class performances today. I think it must have been a tough task for the esteemed judges to judge it. Now, I would like to request our honorable judge and guest of honor, Ms. Meeta Mehra, to say a few words on today's competition.
Hi, thank you, Biramrit. Thank you for hosting me here, and it was really a difficult choice for me to make, as each and every presentation was really it was really interesting, and to see all the research and data collected by all schools. And in fact, I was having a tough time because I was going back and forth with numbers to bring it together to sum it up to my decision. And I must say, each and every school really worked hard, and it was really nice to see, because most definitely the industry which is hit badly is travel and tourism, and we belong to a city where Amritsar, where Golden Temple, there's so many visitors from all over the world who come and visit us, and some of the strategies that were brought out by schools were very, very nice. And if those can be sent out, the government can implement these things. Some of the things that were brought out by schools were amazing, and if we can make those changes, I'm sure. And we have to accept that we have to live in these COVID times. We don't know for how long. We don't know when the vaccine is going to come out. But till then, all I can say to everybody is, stay strong, stay safe, and yeah, that's it. And I've already I filled in my judgment sheet, and I don't know if you have. Do I have to submit it, or you have access to my sheet?
No, ma'am. You अभी नहीं है submit करनी है हमने. We have to just wait.
Okay.
Have you filled the data in the
I
Google
did.
sheet?
Side by side, I was doing that.
Yeah, ma'am. Then we have got the result. It is online, and I'm getting it online now.
I mean, it was really gripping, because all schools had collected too much research done by all the kids. Great job, kids, if all of them are here.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Very, very nice to see all the hard work you all did, and the presentations. I mean, some of them were so good that I was like, wow, is this school kids have made this presentation? It was really nice. Really nice to see that. Thank you. And
thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your experience and enriching us with these words of wisdom. It's time for me now to present vote of thanks. On the behalf of management, principal, and entire GPS fraternity, I wholeheartedly thank our esteemed judges for sparing time from their extremely busy schedule and gracing this event with a generous presence. My sincerest thanks go to our worthy principal, Ms. Sangeeta Singh, for conceiving, planning, and organizing such a wonderful event during an extremely difficult time. I also express my gratitude to all the participating teams and the teachers for their efforts to make this event a real success. I thank my teachers from DBS Amritsar and other people who are directly or indirectly attached with this PPT competition. Thank you very much, everyone.
I'll just come up here. Thanks for this session, and I'll intervene here. I think it had been a very wonderful session. What Meeta ma'am said, and Mr. Ganguly being here from that industry, I think, because the core points they were all touched very beautifully by all the school teams, and we could see the sensitivity behind what they have done, and the good part is few teams did a little bit of interaction with the industry experts and try to gather information. So I think the analysis has been quite nice. So a lot of digging has to go, because yes, tourism industry has been on a downfall. But somehow our students have given us a lot of inputs to ponder upon, And because Mr. Ganguly is here from that sector and he can understand, and we could see sitting in Delhi, I also know when you visit here any hospitality point, so they are at a little low, but somehow we'll come over and lot of good inputs which I was noting it down. So I think we can all compile together, and we can share with the press also, because that is how the young students of today are thinking about the tourism. And certainly revival can happen, because we are seeing, that is the globally hit this sector, where Europe is hit, and internally people are not traveling. Staycation is going on at a very rapid pace. Americans are not allowed to travel to Europe, and Europeans are not travel, from to enter UK. So there are a lot of restrictions happening internally, which the whole team here they shared also. But globally, the tourism will pick up, because anyway people have to go back to their where they can take a break, and they can go solo, and they can be amidst the nature. So there were good points which they thought about, and came out on few points where let's say the COVID cases are not there. But certainly, because a few students teams, they talked about that vaccine can make an impact, but there is also research going on where the vaccine also cannot build the confidence around. So we have to be prepared for that as well. Post vaccine coming in, so that will also play a big role, that how this will get absorbed by the hospitality sector, tourism, travel, everybody, because people are scared, and they will be scared for 2 to 3 years. So, but then industry has to be ready, and a lot of innovative approaches have to come in. So few we noted and jotted
Very
it down
true,
today.
and that has to be the
And
new norm.
yeah, so that will
Right.
come.
We have to
Yeah, so I
adjust to the
think
new
Mr.
norm that this is
Ganguly
going
would
to
like
stay
to
for a
add
while.
something, because ma'am is also here. Then we can conclude.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good afternoon to all of you. I am really surprised to see, after all, their students, they have collected so many datas. Their mental, their maturity, their thinking on hospitality industry, their mental upgradations is really fantastic. Each and every students, they have tried their level best to do the best. But my small message to every students: if you're not selected, don't get upset, but you should try for the best next time. And I am very happy to see everybody's few presentations were extremely good, which is not expected from a student. So it's a lovely experience to be here. But being in this industry, I can tell it's a really very bad scenario for especially each and every employees of hospitality industry. And it will take some time. I don't think it will come up uh, before this financial year. I think every day some new changes are coming, new information coming from WHO. So we don't know exactly what will happen. That's a big problem.
Right.
But we are really in a very bad shape. Rather, we can't take decisions on this. But I am sure this come up in the next financial year, not in this year.
Right. Sir, I have a query here. I have a query where I feel, where you are handling the sector, but the guest arriving, because I witnessed an experience last week when I was in Amritsar and I visited one of the five-star property, and there I could see before me that where the guests were resisting to wear masks, and they were trying to have an argument that, okay, I am not going to wear it, I'm not going to abide rules, but let me enter. Then somehow hotel staff intervened and they gave them the mask. So somehow I think the sensitivity behind the guests who are arriving, they should also be sensitized in totality, so that they are aware that, okay, this wearing a mask is not for them but it's for others too. So that is what the problem I think you see today as well in your property.
Yeah, that is there in every property. We are facing the same problem, but we are also very strict about that. If you want to stay in my hotel, you have to follow my guideline. I'm very sorry to say.
Okay.
So that is mandatory for everybody. Even if the temperature is more than 100, suppose you're coming from the sunlight and your temperature is higher side, more than 100, we request them to wait outside. After 10-15 minutes, we again take the temperature. If it comes down, then we allow them to check in.
Yeah, right. Thank you. I think ma'am would like to add something because very
I will just
interesting.
add that it is not just tourism, but there are certain subsidiary industries. They are dependent on tourism. Like I have one particular, just an example, I just got the application from one of the parents. वो लोग कड़े बनाते हैं जो हम जब हम अमृतसर जाते हैं आई थिंक सबके लिए जो भी अमृतसर आता है अमृतसर का कड़ा पहनना एक प्राइड होता है तो ही हैड रिटन दिस एप्लीकेशन कि 4 महीने हो गए हैं फैक्ट्री जिसमें कड़े बनते थे क्योंकि कोई खरीद ही नहीं रहा है कोई आ ही नहीं रहा है तो हमारे पास बहुत बुरा हाल है मीन्स नॉट जस्ट द टूरिज्म बट ऑल द सब्सिडरी इंडस्ट्री which are dependent on tourism.
Yeah, it's all dependent on each other. Very bad.
Yes,
It's a very sad
they have been
scenario
very badly. So some suggestions have come from the students. I'm sure कुछ बहुत practical भी solutions बच्चे ने
बहुत
निकाले।
अच्छे solutions दिए मैम
बहुत
बच्चों
अच्छे
ने
दिए।
मैं तो बोला उनको कंपाइल करके भेजने चाहिए कहीं पे solutions बच्चों के they were so good.
जरूर जरूर I will talk to other principals और भी PPTs अगर वो हमारे साथ share करते हैं I had been visiting other events also. Even they were going on very well. बहुत अच्छे जो भी इवेंट बाकी भी चल रहे थे उसमें भी बहुत अच्छे सजेशंस और बहुत अच्छी स्पेशली द कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर हाउ कंज्यूमर बिहेवियर इज गोइंग टू चेंज आफ्टर कोविड-19 उसमें भी बच्चों के बहुत अच्छे सजेशंस आ रहे थे कि कैसे कैसे बिहेवियर चेंज होने वाला है एंड आई थिंक वट एवर द वे वी थॉट ये बिल्कुल वैसे ही हो गया कॉमर्स फेस्टिवल जैसे एक्चुअली में होता है
बहुत बढ़िया वेरी नाइस मैम रियली I mean
Thank you.
applaud your
I think we should
efforts.
clap for you. I
And
think
your
because
teams
everybody
Exactly.
was here, all the teams.
really
So
applaud your
don't get disheartened what our judges talked about, but you all have done good work,
They
and
have
that
done
work
very
should continue.
It was very difficult to judge rather.
Yeah.
I mean I
Yeah,
was
it's very
like
difficult
moving back and
sometimes,
forth
yeah.
on my sheet because I didn't know,
Yes,
you
yes.
know, it was so good and challenging. Great job done by all the teams, ma'am.
Even all the teachers, those who prepared the students, our computer team, our backup, वो भी बहुत अच्छा था.
Most
Mr. Akash, you were
important.
continuously here. You could have gone to other events also. वो भी बहुत अच्छे थे.
IT team deserves an
हाँ,
applause.
IT team.
Yeah, IT team deserves. Yes.
IT team ने बहुत काम किया. Mr. Arjinder is our English teacher. Mr. Anirudh is teaching accounts and commerce. This is Mr. Jitinder. आपने इनके mails आई हैं. अगर आपने देखा नहीं है, he is there in yellow t-shirt and brown turban. Mr. Akash, I think you have met him, Mr. Ganguly. So
Yeah,
it was a very, very good experience. और
Thank
मुझे
you,
बहुत
thank you all the judges. Thank you so much.
probably बहुत अच्छे से इवेंट हो गया. मुझे थोड़ी वरी थी कि ऑनलाइन है, नेट कहीं बंद ना हो जाए. और प्रिंसिपल्स की भी मुझे कॉल आई कि आज लॉकडाउन है सिटी में और अगर बच्चों को कहीं और जाके ये इवेंट वहां पे करना है प्रेजेंट तो कैसे होगा. But I think it has been done perfectly and thank you everyone.
Ma'am, with you sitting at the helm and organizing this whole thing, I have seen you from my childhood. I don't know if everybody knows here, Sangeeta ma'am has taught me. I was a student in DPS in Delhi.
That was year
with you at the
86.
helm, this had to come out the way it did. So
Meeta, thank you so much. Meeta was in class 11 when I was a new teacher. है ना मीता? मैं बिल्कुल नई टीचर थी 34 साल की भी
नहीं
नहीं
आई
हुई
थी आपके ऊपर गाना भी बनाया था मेरे भाई ने लवली सी मैडम
लवली सी मैडम उसने मुझे कभी नहीं बताया कि वो मेरे लिए गाना बनाया था.
आप ही के लिए बना था वो गाना जब
हाँ,
आप
लवली सी मैडम स्टूडेंट्स ढूंढते है ना.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल
तो आई एम सो हैप्पी कि यू हैव बीन विद मी. ये भी स्टार्ट होते हैं. आप मेरे को जब मैं आई वाज 24 दैट टाइम मीता वाज अ स्टूडेंट इन डीपीएस. तब से मेरा और मीता का एसोसिएशन है और देखो किसके साथ नहीं होता पर अब नाउ आई एम 60 तो अभी भी मैं लवली सी मैडम तो नहीं हूँ. अब तो मैं बड़ी
आप हमेशा रहेंगी लवली सी मैडम.
प्रिंसिपल्स के साथ से देर सब दूर दूर भागते हैं उसको देखते. तो वो जमाना था. वो भी एक जमाना था एक्चुअली. बहुत ही अच्छा टाइम था. डीपीएस मथुरा रोड when I was teaching. Lovely. I had lovely time. There was a lot of respect मथुरा रोड पे और उन दिनों में थी भी है ना. वो पुराना टाइम था. तो थैंक यू सो मच. हमारे सब टीचर्स ने मिस्टर राजन हैज कोऑर्डिनेटेड परफेक्टली. ये मिस्टर राजन है. इफ यू हैवंट मेट हिम इन्होंने काफी सारा कोऑर्डिनेट इन्होंने इवेंट को किया।
So nice
एक्चुअली
to meet you.
सोचना बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट होता है जब हम ये फाइनल कर रहे होते हैं कि क्या क्या इवेंट्स रखे जाए। आई हैव अ कॉमर्स बैकग्राउंड एंड आई taught almost for 18 years. I used to teach Vita marketing,
Yes.
है ना, मार्केटिंग पढ़ाती थी।
Marketing. All my marketing strategies are thanks to you.
हाँ, yes.
My success in business is thanks to you, ma'am. What you taught me. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Meeta. This is little too much, but thank you so much. You're a lovely person, and thank you, Mr. Ganguly, for being with us. यही इवेंट है जो 2 घंटे से ज्यादा चला है। बाकी जो सब इवेंट थे वो आधे पौने घंटे में खत्म हो गए।
Not an issue, ma'am. Pleasure to be here, and I think being a leader, we should salute you. It was a lovely planning and every fantastic implementation, and you and your team should appreciate it for that.
We are thankful to all the participating schools also, क्योंकि उन्होंने भी बहुत enthusiastically participate किया है और पूरी रिसर्च करके पार्टिसिपेट किया है।
Absolutely.
So I think thank you so much. Thanks again. अब next year देखें कैसा इवेंट होता है और किस तरह से चलता है। The onus is on my team. They will ensure कि बहुत अच्छा चले।
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, may I say something?
Sure,
Ma'am,
sure.
actually, you look lovelier now. If it was
Okay.
lovelier that time, you're lovelier now.
Lovelier. Okay. ठीक है।
Ma'am, thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
After
Thank you
another
very
10 years, Mr. Harjinder, I will be the loveliest.
Yes, ma'am, definitely, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
the
ma'am.
all
Thank you very much.
compliments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, beta.